So, I mean, do you think there's something about being a cabbie that sort of, you know, I think in entrepreneurial societies we like to talk about serendipity, and I kind of wonder if cab drivers kind of feel that.
We was trying to talk every businessman in the back of the cab to lend us a tenner to improve what we had. I even applied to go on Dragon's Den for 60 grand. That's all we wanted. You know, I was more than willing. I'd give them 10% to the big girl with the shoulder pads and give her 40%. Yeah? We knew, but what we wanted was the money, and we didn't have the money, and that was the most important thing. We thought, we get 60 grand, if we give 40% up, you know, we will develop something that we knew was going to be pretty powerful. You know, I picked up Peter Stringfield, he lives along Albert Embankment, and as I'm taking him to one of his places of operation, I didn't know if he had his daughter, his wife, his girlfriend in the back of the cab. I said, what are you doing coming to work anyway? Because he's getting on, you know, he's 60 or 70 plus. He said, well, you know, you've got to keep your hand in things. And I said, actually, I'm trying to embark on a business myself with 2 other cab drivers. And he said, what is it? And I said, it's a taxi app. And he said, stop.
Did you?
And I did. And he said, it'll be a success. He said, because you're doing something, the business that you know about.
It sounds like you didn't really struggle to get the drivers on board. And is that because you're in the space, or is it your charm, your good looks, your support of football? What is it?
Yeah,
all of it. Bit of all of it.
Right.
Yeah, it was one of those really interesting meetings whereby, you know, we was playing hard to get, you know, and I think...
Describe to me what that looks like.
It's like, I think after about 10 cups of tea, we knew they had the technology. You know, listen, I've got friends of minicab drivers, you know. Quickly, my mate was a plumbing, best mate, you know, I still see him occasionally. And he said to me, he said, I've got some good news and bad news. I said, well, what's happening? He said, well, I'm gonna give up my plumbing business. So I said, all right. I said, but I need your advice. I said, what's the matter? He said, well, I'm going to be a minicab driver. So I said, listen, Tony, I said, you've got to do what you've got to do. He said, I said, what's the advice? He said, how do you get to Waterloo? And that was probably, the scariest thing about what we do as the consummate professionals. I mean, every single cab driver you get into, out of the 24,000 cab drivers, you know you've got the ultimate professional that done the knowledge, the CRB checked. I'm likely to get ruled, either overruled by Bryce or you on this, but I'm going to call time because I think they've had 2 hours on stage talking, answering questions. Please do join me in thanking what I think has been one of our greatest sessions so far.